Hey, it's Zach at Happy Studios, and today we're going to take a look at the brand new SSL 2 and 2 Plus Mark II USB audio interfaces, a pair of USB-C connected interfaces with a studio's worth of features in one convenient box. The SSL, or Solid State Logic, company was founded in the UK in the late 60s as a builder of solid-state control systems for pipe organs. By the mid-70s, they began building recording consoles that soon became legendary, especially at the time as these featured onboard computer-powered controllers and their future-famous bus compressors. As the name implies, the SSL 2 and 2 Plus Mark II units are an update to the SSL 2 line released back in 2020. So how are they both different to the original? They've upgraded the converters to what SSL are calling their next-gen 32-bit 192 kHz converters. The instrument in and headphone out jacks are now at the front of the unit, and the headphone outputs are now better for low-impedance headphones. The 2 Plus has a few more features than the standard version, with a total of 4 balanced outputs as opposed to the regular version's 2 outputs, along with MIDI in and out ports, and a second independently controllable headphone output. Fortunately, both of these models are still bus powered and will straight up run without the need for drivers on a Mac. For anyone still living in the 80s, these may seem a little smaller than the SSLs you're used to, but over the last decade, SSL have been finding new ways to get their legacy sound in more compact products for customers to be able to use anywhere. The SSL 2 and 2 Plus Mark II are an upgrade to the beloved original versions, so let's take a look at their features. On both units, we've got across the front 2 input channels featuring phantom power, mic line switches, a high-pass filter, an LED input monitor, a gain control allowing up to 64 dBs of gain, and a legacy 4K button that imparts the characteristics of the classic SSL 4000 series mixing desks, including a little bump in the treble, some harmonic distortion, and a touch of saturation to your input. Next to this, we've got our monitor controller volume that goes all the way up to 11. Then we've got our mix knob to choose what you're listening to, your input, the USB output, or a blend of the two, coupled with a stereo button for when you're recording stereo instruments in via the 2 inputs. And below that, we've got our headphone volume controllers, with only one for both sets of headphones on the non-Plus version, whilst the Plus has independent controls as well as a 3 and 4 button, which allows you to route the outputs of 3 and 4 in your DAW to send an independent mix to headphone B, which is a great feature to have. Across the front, both boxes are the same, with a pair of instrument DI inputs and 2 headphone outputs. Around the back, you'll see a pair of combo inputs and a pair of outputs on the non-Plus version, whilst the Plus has 4 outputs and MIDI in and out ports. And there we have it, the SSL 2 and 2 Plus Mark II USB audio interfaces, a real pair of solid USB audio interfaces for both the home enthusiast and studio operator, as well as producers and engineers on the go. Like many, I was already a huge fan of the original SSL 2 and 2 Plus interfaces since their release, having used them in a bunch of sessions in the past. With their legacy 4K button, ultra-low noise floor, and now with the upgraded next-gen converters, SSL is still showing why they're dominating all the way from large format studios to home setups. The SSL 2 Mark II retails for around $430, whilst the 2 Plus retails for $570 Australian.